Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey. Another one bites the dust. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Boom, boom, boom. Dungeons and Dragons. Boom, boom, boom. Dungeons and Dragons has gone PC. They're politically correct now. Hey, they're gonna get you too because they are removing half species from the player's handbook. So Dungeons and Dragons, they are placating to PC political correct, an imaginary fictional fantasy world with creatures like half-elves and more. Claim the entire idea of half species is inherently racist. My dear God, I hope the people that created Dungeons and Dragons aren't accepting this, because if they are, then holy smokes, have things changed? So Dungeons and Dragons have been around for several decades. It's had a resurgence because of things like Stranger Things. It's a bit in the pop culture now, which I remember at one point, Dungeons and Dragons for the weird nerdy kids that listened to like heavy metal in the back of the classroom and nobody talked to them because they were kind of creepy. Well, now everybody and their mother is into this Dungeons and Dragons stuff, apparently to the point where I guess they are placating to being politically correct for all these casuals that are snowflakes, so to speak, playing the game. So we're going to talk about this and give thoughts about it. So Dungeons and Dragons, I guess in a small way, this is them, wouldn't say going woke, but at the same time, show some fucking balls. Like, stand up for, what you are. So Wizards of the Coast, they are the creators of Dungeons and Dragons. They are making these efforts as of late to remove potentially offensive content from their products. It's been going on for quite some time, to be honest. I believe they removed the term race. Like, what's your race? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So I think they just recently announced that they would be removing the concept of half species from the game due to the belief that it's inherently racist. So half elf, that's going to be gone, right? The decision was made public during their D&D Creator Summit, where various game developers and content creators are given sneak peeks of upcoming releases in their series of games and franchises. It's like their Nintendo Direct, their little E3. Now, thankfully, because common sense tends to prevail over politically correctness, the decision to remove half species has been met with criticism from fans of the game who feel that it's unnecessarily and offensive. The fact that, I think they're like, really? What are you guys doing? Like, why are you moving something and changing shit and saying stuff that's racist? They argue that the concept of something being half species is not inherently racist, and that it's a common concept in fantasy games. Like I said, that I keep going to half-elf because last time I played a Dungeons and Dragons game with some friends, I always chose to be a half-elf because I thought it was really cool. And I liked the way that the avatar looked on the photo that I had. I have a few Dungeons and Dragons books. I don't know where my DM's guide is, but I know it's over there just in case you guys think I'm full of it. I used to play a lot when I was younger. Now, I think that the decision to remove half species from the game means that certain characters from old content, like, because they have characters that are like actual NPCs and stuff, they're essentially removing and getting rid of those characters, or they're going to have to rework them if they're going to be used in the future. So they're basically going to change a whole bunch of the lore. And I know this is kind of nerdy to go into it, but in the greater scheme of stuff, this is going to change the games, and I think it was unnecessary for it. Like, really, was there anybody out there that's basically thinking, hey, Tannis from Dragonlance is fucking racist or offensive? Come on. Is this the society that we're pitching, where everything has to be politically correct now? Because it's tiresome. It's almost like if they're going to be offended about stuff that's not politically correct, I'm going to be offended about stuff that is politically correct, because it wasn't even an issue to begin with. Think about how long Dungeons and Dragons has been operating, that nobody found offense to it till now. So have no clue, but according to this article, was Wizards of the Coast had stated that they had a team of sensitivity readers. Dear God. Anytime you hear like a team being implemented in anything, whether it's Twitch, like Twitch had their little team with the deer girl and stuff like that. Sensitivity readers, dear fucking God. Oh. A team of sensitivity readers. Like, just hearing that makes me cringe deep inside. And basically they review all the content for offensive material. And you know what? It's not so much that they're looking for offensive material. Here's the reality of this situation. They're looking for stuff that's offensive to them. To them. They're sensitivity readers because they're sensitive little snowflakes, and they will, nothing that they do not like will stay in. It's up to them. It's their discretion. They're not looking for the bigger picture and safety of gamers and looking for overall offensive things. No, they're only getting rid of what they don't like. And that's going to be the complete honesty here, whether they're supposed to have an honor system or not. They're supposed to be focused on ensuring that everything in the game brings joy, but no, they're just further burying Dungeons and Dragons and whoever else has similar concepts like Twitch and all that. These people, they're just going down this rabbit hole of sensitivity and snowflakeness and being overall pussy in life over stuff. I feel going back and making efforts to revise older content to remove this offensive material will definitely cause a backlash, at least minimally mixed reactions from longtime fans. So this is definitely a controversy. The decision to remove half species is going to cause a lot more change than people might realize. Definitely, I feel it's when companies get into this whole, we want to create an inclusive and enjoyable environment and hope that fans can feel safe and like, oh, dear God, it's fucking fantasy. And just let the players, let the dungeon masters that are operating the games at home choose whether they want to use half species or not. Don't take them completely out of the game. You know, that's the beauty in Dungeons and Dragons is whoever's the DM could develop the game or the campaign and make arrangements or even customize it for the way they fit. If they don't want half species, they don't have to have it. But it's fucking stupid that this is where life is coming to as a society, where a fucking fantasy game is having to be politically correct and censored. Like, what is next? I feel that, if anything, when you remove stuff, it's limiting the diversity. It's limiting the creativity of something like Dungeons and Dragons. So, yeah, sometimes trying to be diverse does the exact opposite, and I feel that this is going to be it. So, just want to give my thoughts about it. Let me know what you think. I'll see you on the next one.